right, good morning, everyone. Back at it again here on Small Business News. My name is Ryan Howe. I am a business coach who works out of West Michigan and around the country helping businesses grow faster than they ever thought possible. You can learn more at 7businessguides.com. Now, this show, Small Business News, where I share just some of the information that I share with my clients every single day here with you on YouTube, Facebook, and on LinkedIn. So go check me out there as well. Again, today we got June 5th. Here it's been another rainy day here, just real crap day out, but it is what it is, right? But let's see what we're going to get into here. Boston Consulting Group, BCG, is just out with a new report that we're going to look at the summary view of it. Again, we're going to go check it out. Links to everything that we talk about are going to be in the description somewhere around here. Go check it out. And they have a report simply just on the differentiate and the disparity between innovation and basically efficiency right now, that there's issues with our innovation systems. It's a real quick read that we're going to go through, check that out. And then we're going to get into really how to prepare for what would be a brand attack with misinformation that's out there against you and your business, and basically how to prepare for that and how to be ready for those things. It's something that, again, just small businesses as a whole, but businesses need to be prepared to deal with. So all right, well, let's get into it now. So first things first, going to be with BCG.com. Again, their innovation systems need a reboot. And again, it's a quick read here. This is where you can download the report here. Go check it out for yourself, but let's just get the quick summary piece here. So here's a paradox. Companies have never placed a higher prioritization on innovation, yet they have never been as unready to deliver on their innovation aspirations. It's a recipe for disappointment. BCG's 2024 Most Innovative Companies report examines the readiness gap and offers perspectives on how companies can get back on track. Again, download the report here, check it out. I think you'll enjoy the report, especially if it's as most businesses should be looking at how they're going to innovate as well. Now, a troubling innovation readiness gap. We first discussed the readiness gap in the 2021 Most Innovative Companies report. At the time, 20% of companies scored as ready based on BCG's proprietary innovation to impact benchmark, despite 75% ranking innovation a top 3 priority. So that's a 55% gap right there. Today, our 2024 research finds 83% of companies seeing innovation as a top 3 priority, but only 3% ready to translate their priorities to results. On readiness, 2024's top quartile innovator underperforms the 2022's median innovator. It's an urgent call for urgent action. Again, you want to check out the report for sure. And what this means is that as companies they have detached right now their business operations are detached from their strategy. Like, that's end of the day what's happening there. So what they think they have for their strategy and what they want to do has not translated back to what it is within the actual economy itself, or within their business itself. So they think they can do these things. It's kind of like me when I go on the basketball court every now and again. I think I can still go out there and do all these things. Yeah, that's what I was known for. And then once I get out on the court, it becomes very clear that I'm now a 46-year-old dude who can't keep up with the kids. So just one of the things just keep in mind here. Now with that, combating zombies with strategy, readiness has declined most sharply in those aspects of innovation system that link business strategy to innovation strategy. And again, just what I was talking about. And executives feel it. Just 12% say their company has a strong link between the two. However, innovation activity, the number of projects going through the funnel, has remained steady, evoking a troubling image. Zombie innovation systems just going through the motions rather than I don't want to say it here. If your compensation is based on how much innovation is and how many projects you are working on to grow, innovate, basically to be innovative versus delivering on it, that's what happens right there. Now, a strong link to business strategy focuses innovation investment, and it also delivers better innovation output. Strategy-led innovators achieve a share of revenue from new products 74% higher than companies with a weak link between strategy and innovation. Again, it's time for innovators to recommit to strategy. Again, the report covers all those things. And then the last one here, I just want to cover again. We talk about AI a lot on this stream, especially on this channel. I have my thoughts about AI as a whole. People just they're putting it into email, or sorry, into their articles online. Basically just get clicks at this point. However, this is definitely one of the things to keep in mind. 86% of innovators in our research are experimenting with Gen AI to some degree. Ready innovators are moving out ahead. They're applying Gen AI, generative AI, more frequently in a single use case and are 7 times more likely to have applied it at scale. Gen AI can be a powerful tool to help organizations reshape their innovation systems for greater readiness. And again, they cover 10 use cases that span the 3 phases of innovation cycle between strategize, create, and scale. Again, you definitely come here, check out the report. It's going to give you some ideas to look at that you can start looking at Gen AI as ways to help you innovate. And again, for those that know, again, those that don't know, but those who do know, it never hurts to hear it again, that the strategy is not doing what everyone else does, just doing it better. Strategy is what is it that you're doing different. And when you are innovating, if you're just doing what everybody else is doing, end of the day, you are not going to be able to push the threshold like you want to. And those are things that I talk with my clients about consistently. Focusing on where their strategies at, but also, to get their return on investment for their time and energy that they're putting into things. And again, if you want to learn more about what I do to help businesses grow faster than they ever thought possible, head on over to summitbusinessguys.com. You can check out, there's a link in the description. We can learn more about what I do to help businesses grow, see just a few of the businesses that I work with here in West Michigan and around the country. And again, it's across the board, credit unions to, again, landscape, lawn care companies, manufacturing, legal firms, adult foster care, you name it, across the board. The processes that I use here, which are the Pinnacle processes here, the Pinnacle Business Operating System. I can learn more about how my clients use that to grow their businesses as well. You can come over here and learn more about me here. When it comes to on YouTube, typically I'm gonna have to look into this. There's usually a Facebook thing right here, and yet it's not existing at the moment. That's interesting. See what happened there. Okay, so let's get back into here. Let's get on to our next spot here, which is going to be from Ad Age. And again, this is an opinion piece, just to be clear. This isn't, but there's good information here that I want to make sure we cover. So brand disinformation, how marketers can prepare for narrative attacks. Approximately $78 billion a year is lost due to perception manipulation. I've been sitting on this one for a couple days, specifically just to get to it at this point here, because it was an interesting article to read through. So marketers are on the front line of disinformation, defending their most valuable asset, their brand. It's a battleground where with that, just FYI, brands, they're still powerful. However, just going to keep in mind as we move along here, the next generation's brand isn't as powerful as it was, but it's still extremely important to make sure you're protecting your brand. Now, it's a battleground where perceptions are manipulated. Brand reputation can be tarnished from a single post that goes viral and out of control. Stakes have never been higher. Disinformation is such an important problem. The World Economic Forum named it as the top global risk in 2024. Now, that's mostly because it's for what disinformation against them, but it is important to understand. Now, Dan Loden, CMO of Blackbird AI, Blackbird.ai, a narrative intelligence company, shares how marketers can recognize and defend against narrative attacks created by misinformation and disinformation. In 2020, Wayfair was the target of a baseless conspiracy theories involving human trafficking that circulated on social media. I remember this one. If I remember correctly, there were these weird one-off things that you could buy from Wayfair that were like $12,000 to $15,000. And what that was is it was a posting. They were saying that actually it would line up with somebody that you were looking to purchase. It was this weird thing. It was definitely one of the weirder ones that's out there. Again, more recently, oat milk brand Oatly pushed back against what it deemed misinformation about its ingredients. All right, so let's get into it. So what's a narrative attack? Again, it's simply just an assertion created by misinformation and disinformation that shapes perception about a person, place, or thing in the information ecosystem. Again, it can start with a single post and it can spread rapidly. So how big is the problem? Who's at risk? And when we already talked about the $78 billion that's here, estimate for publicly trading companies is $39 billion annually due to disinformation on stock market losses. Are marketers prepared for such attacks? At an event attended by more than 450 marketing leaders from Global Fortune 2000, Most marketing executive feels their teams didn't know how to protect and prepare themselves for an attack caused by misinformation or disinformation. Most of all, they are unsure of what to do after a narrative attack occurs. I've worked with a few companies on just being out front on this type of stuff. And the number one thing I say is you should have as much information as possible on your website about what you do, as clear, and make sure it's updated as often as possible. So that way, if something comes out and it's absolutely false, and you can simply just say, again, the links, let's go back to our website here. You can see this information. It's been up there for it's been up there for, however long now, let's say maybe a year or two. This information is still valid. Again, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to comment, but this is not even close to true. And if you have the information available out there, then it carries a little, again, the more transparent you can be, the better it's going to be for fighting back against these attacks. Typically, when you have these issues, it's when you haven't been as transparent as possible. All right. How should marketers prepare for narrative attacks? So you definitely want to have an internal communication and rapid response plan. News travels fast. Having an internal communication and narrative plan. This includes establishing a crisis communications team, implementing information verification processes, and creating internal and external messaging for employees as well as the board, including prepared statements and stakeholder communications. That's one thing when something like, I've been involved in a few of these during my time when I was in industry, and what we did is, hey, this just came up. We were notified of it. We sent an email out to everybody, said, hey, everyone, company-wide, we'll have something out to you, depending on what it was, but usually it only took us maybe 4 to 6 hours to put something together. But it's usually, we'll have something out to you before the end of the day. Please forward any press, basically any sort of press or media inquiries up to, and it'd be to me, be able to handle that. And we just let folks know, hey, this is we'll let you know exactly what we're looking to hear from the company. All right, form a response team. You actually want to have people that is, they have a plan figured out. As far as they know what to do, you've got a playbook in place, and those playbooks are very important. That's what I work with my clients about. Is if something happens, they just reach on the shelf, virtual shelf, pull it down, and now they've got the playbooks on what was the information, what was said, how do we verify it, who's talking to who, what's the timeline for getting this out, so we could just get that information there. Now, what should marketers do when under attack? Knowing the scope of the narrative across social media platforms, the dark web, and the media can help calculate it. Is it isolated, or is it a one small media attack? You got to kind of know where it's at. Know the cohorts that connect and further scale narratives. Knowing which hyper agenda driven individuals or groups are behind the harmful narratives and how they are connected is critical. Again, you will see this stuff pass quickly and other people pick it up because it's getting clicks. That's just kind of what happens. All right, next is going to be understand that bots can manipulate. Definitely knowing where your bots are at, and you can tell. We all know what bots look like. When you hear the exact same narrative, same lines over and over again, it's just bots, and then you can basically just ignore it at that point. Next piece is going to be develop a response plan, like we talked. There's no one size fit all. However, you need a checklist to run down and practice it. So that way you can do those things. Situations that may warrant public response: when a major crisis occurs, attacks with a strong traction that are achieving scale, there's a high risk of physical safety being compromised, and silence might indicate guilt or complicity. And again, not saying anything sometimes is the best response. However, I've always been, if you are in the right, stating where you are with your opinion on things and how you handle your business, and then leaving it at that and not talking anymore, tends to make everybody get quiet after that. So, however, again, you got to make sure you're as transparent as possible. And situations that may warrant watching and waiting: emotionally charged outrage attacks, isolated attacks, any attacks involving legal issues, get those lawyers involved, and again, demonstrably false attacks. And again, this was from Drew Neeser. Again, this was simply just, this is good advice for everybody. Anyone who's ever been in this situation before, or you're preparing for it, my recommendation for all of my clients is always to have a playbook, that checklist that they can just go to, run down the list of the who, what, when, where, how, and why, and then also make sure that you are as transparent as possible in your on your websites. And these things tend to take care of themselves. All right, so that's what we have for June 5th today. Again, I appreciate everybody who's been on here. Yeah, hopefully I earned your subscription today. If I do get your subscription, please make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be know when I come live on here, so you can hop on the chat and we can talk a little bit. So with that, we did cover again Boston Consulting Group (BCG). They had their basically the innovation versus efficiency report out, which is showing that there's an awful lot of people that pride themselves on innovation right now, a lot of companies, and very few are ready to actually execute on any sort of innovations. So please go to the again, links are in the description there. Go to the website, check it out. And then we just talked quickly about just some steps to get started with for how to deal with brand disinformation attacks. And if you like to learn more, if you'd like to learn more about this, or you're looking for help, like to learn more about what I do, go to summitbusinessguys.com, check it out. And with that, have a great day, and I will see